tonight's race. How long these guys are going to run wide open through 1 and 2. How long can they do that, and can they keep it out of that outside wall?
Here's our Royal Purple race analysis for the 36 trucks that will be starting. That purse just over $400,000 tonight.
See 147 laps, just over 200 miles. Our pit window is somewhere around 65 to 70 laps. Before at Darlington, on the old surface, you would want to pit every 5 laps for tires to be good. These tires won't last this long. Should be a great, interesting strategy for these guys.
And here's a racetrack where we've got a field of 36 drivers, and not one of them have been to victory lane. So we're going to shine our speed spotlight on a few drivers we think may get their first wins. We'll start with Ray.
Well, Rick, I would certainly put Brian Eichler on that list, no doubt about it. He's run great this season. 4 top 10s in 5 races, driving for Kyle Busch. But he got a Darlington stripe earlier today, beat up the right side of that truck. He came in and was down about it a little bit. But Rick Wren, the team manager, said it's not a question about if you'll get a Darlington stripe. It's about how many. And I'm telling you, he may hit the wall again tonight, but he's got a truck good enough to get to the front. Keep your eye on truck 18. Adam?
There's not a person in the Camping World Truck Series garage that wouldn't like to see Jason White go to victory lane. He's been so close so many times. He starts 11th tonight and enters this race 11th in the championship standings. That despite the fact he had a 28th place run last week at Nashville after losing an engine. Jason White hopes to get it all going in the right direction here tonight. Phil?
Adam, my guy, I think that potentially could get win number 1 here is James Buescher. James is the youngest winner in the history of the ARCA Racing Series at the age of 16. He started 12 of the 15 races this season, and his worst finish was 16th. He had a runner-up finish at Dover and will start in the top 3 for the 6th time this year. He starts the Wolfpack Reynolds Chevy on the outside, Michael, of the front row.
You know, and I couldn't agree with you guys anymore. All those are great candidates to get that first win. But let's look at Justin Lofton. That's who I think the next winner will be in this series. He's 24 years old from Westmoreland, California. He won the ARCA Series Championship in 2009, winning 7 races and 41 starts in his ARCA career. So this kid is fast. He likes this racetrack. He could be the next first-time winner in the Truck Series.
Guys, a developing story with the number 2 truck of Kenny Schrader. Adam, what's going on?
Well, Rick, the truck would not fire when he got set to roll off a pit road. That's disappointing because Kenny had qualified in the 6th position earlier today. So here is what they have done. They pushed him down the pit lane into his pit stall, and they have changed the battery. The truck is fired. He is pulled away. That's the good news. The bad news is what they did, deemed a pit stop by NASCAR prior to the green. That means he will have to drop to the tail at the start. We know how important track position is here. Kenny Schrader has none of it as we get set to go green here this evening.
Well, if there's any driver here, Michael, that can overcome this poor starting position, it's Kenny Schrader with the most experience of anybody here on this racetrack.
Do you have to get creative with pit stops now?
I don't think so, Rick. You know, I think he's got a good enough truck where he can just race his way methodically through the field, put himself in a position to get up in the top 10 when it comes time to pit. So I believe he can just stick right to his strategy. He probably doesn't mind as much starting in the back, like you said, Phil, as a lot of guys would, because he's just saying, that's part of it. We'll start back here and clip our way through. Old guys have this sense of not having urgency. Yeah, he's calm, no urgency early in the going. You know, they're not going to pay any money till the end.
And as they cross the stripe, we are 1 lap away from going green. And before that green flag flies, let's go to Ray Dunlap for his thoughts before green.
Well, thank you, Rick. You guys talked a lot about experience, and I want to add Todd Bodine to an experience list. When you look at his numbers at Darlington, pretty impressive. A win in the Nationwide Series, and how about 6,665 laps run at this racetrack? But the big number, I guess, is 0 laps led so far in the trucks. I think that'll change tonight. Truck number 30 to the front in just a while. Adam?
And Ray fans at home may ask, why do Phil and Michael have so much confidence in Ken Schrader driving from the back to the front here tonight? In one word, it's experience. He has 43 career starts here in the Sprint Cup Series. 3 times he started a truck here, each one of them resulting in a top 10 finish. Driver number 2 has turned nearly 15,000 laps at this facility. He is confident despite the little miscue prior to the start in tonight's race. I too believe he can get to the front. It's time now to sit back and watch him make the run. Rick?
Well, he's got 147 laps to work his way methodically to the front. We'll see how long it takes him. He's got a very good truck. It was good in practice and qualifying. Now we'll see how he does when the green flag flies.
Remember, these guys had a couple practices today and qualifying. Very few trucks ever ran side by side, ran together. They're going to get down to turn number 1. They're going to expect to run through there wide open, and they're going to have a bunch of their friends right around them.
Yeah, if someone said you're going to run side by side in practice, they'd say, what? I'm not running side by side in practice, but that's what they're getting ready to do now.
Timothy Peters, your pole winner, comes to the stripe. The green flag goes in the air. We're underway from Darlington, South Carolina.
Mike Skinner got in the back of Brian Eichler there on the start. I don't know if it's going to cause Skinner any problems with his radiator or his cooling in that truck. He's definitely made some contact.
A great shot of coming out of turn number 2 if anybody does get into that wall.
Eric Almirola on the inside of Ron Hornaday. It's a battle for the 4th position.
Leading the first lap is going to be Timothy Peters. In the number 17, Justin Lofton moves up to the 2nd spot. James Busher, Ron Hornaday, Eric Almirola are your top 5.
I'm a little amazed we got through turn 1 without any contact or significant contact.
Well, these guys have circled this race on their calendar. Everybody wants to race at Darlington. A trophy from Darlington is one of the prized possessions you'll get as a NASCAR driver. So they've been thinking a lot about this race. They didn't want to throw it away on the first lap. I think they showed a little bit of patience there. And we talk about Darlington being a track that you race the track. You don't worry about the other competitors. And that means you better just be conservative early in the going so you're around at the end.
Out in front, Timothy Peters. Justin Lofton running 2nd. There's James Busher in 3rd. We talked about experience paying off here. How about, well, that lack of experience up front?
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Timothy Peters never been here before. You have Justin Lofton, has probably never even seen this racetrack before. And James Busher, he actually does have some experience. Ran the nationwide race here earlier this year.
But that guy right there at the bottom of the screen, Todd Bodine, making a move on Eric Almirola for that 5th spot. You guys we're going to watch him, right? He's a guy we think does have the experience and can get up front and have a chance to win this.
Oh, problems in turn number 1. We've got 3 trucks around.
Dennis Setzer's around. Mario Goslin, the yellow truck, is just taking off now.
Kenny Schrader came in there late, got her slowed down, made his way through that mess. So he'll pick up another couple spots. He had already raced his way up, guys, to the 23rd spot after starting last.
We ran 3 laps before we had any contact or significant contact.
Mike Skinner in the number 5 may have been involved in this one.
Michael talked about him running into the back of Brian Eichler at the very start, but I did see a little smoke out of Skinner's truck.
He was just
Now,
starting to smoke a bit.
Is that engine smoke? If that is, it could be from that grill getting messed up on the start. Maybe overheated that thing a little bit. We'll have to see, but he's definitely got some issues.
He needs to take this opportunity to bring that truck to pit road, see if he can cool it off.
Take another look at this. We'll get to it here a little bit late, but you'll see the 3 trucks that are involved.
I don't see much damage on the front of.
There is definitely some damage right above the front bumper. Here's a late. See Mario Goslin, the yellow number 12. There's Dennis Setzer.
Look sneaking around here on the inside. Schrader's got her all slowed down. Jennifer Jo Cobb goes to the bottom and makes her way around. I can't.
There was some contact as they went in turn number 1 with somebody.
It started real early. They were almost up on the straightaway still, I believe.
Right along with Mike Skinner here.
There's Johnny Sauter on the inside.
There it is.
Yep.
Somebody gets into Dennis Setzer and just spins him around. The black truck spun Setzer around. Looks like Mario Goslin, some of those other trucks decided to needed to make some evasive moves to get around and wound up losing their truck. Skinner's coming to pit road.
Mario also, and we see Ken Schrader also in the number 2 is making his way onto pit road. There's Ken. We go down to Adam Alexander.
And no big surprise here. Schrader, as Michael pointed out, had worked his way up to 23rd in the running order, but pit strategy being what it is for them tonight because of the lack of track position means you take every opportunity to get on pit road and get out of sequence. That's what they will do here. No tires. They will top off the fuel tank and a track bar adjustment to help Ken handle better through the corners.
You remember on the start of the race, I said there was some contact with Skinner. He ran in the back of Eichler's truck. There was some checking up. You see Skinner in the back there in the black truck. Boom! He drove up underneath the back of Brian Eichler's Toyota with his Toyota. So you wonder, Phil, if that didn't cause some damage to the grill and maybe overheated that thing that quick.
Yeah. See, everybody had gone, and then they checked up. He ran in the back of Eichler. there was definitely some damage to the front of that truck, and then he kept running on the racetrack. They went under the hood, they looked, and they're going to send him back to the racetrack. Now he has not lost a lap.
Try to keep him on that lead lap. 32 on the lead lap is up to this point.